And more importantly, I'd like to raise the question as to what makes high tech in the age of Aquarius different than the Tower of Babel. And I can think of one difference: the aspect of love thy neighbor. In the Tower of Babel, it was all there. Today, unfortunately, we see very little of it. Rabbi Ashlag, in his work called Matan Torah, makes a daring, in fact startling, revelation concerning the Jew and non-Jew. He declares that on Mount Sinai, it was the Israelites as a nation which undertook to make manifest the concept of love thy neighbor. The entire revelation on Mount Sinai was geared and directed toward this one precept. We are familiar with the story told about Hillel when a convert came to him and asked, could he teach him the entire Torah during the time that he could stand on one leg? To which Hillel responded, the entire Torah, the entire Bible, is one configuration, conglomeration of love thy neighbor. The rest of the Bible, along with its commandments, precepts, etc., merely are explanations and paths by which to reach the ultimate, love thy neighbor. That's what the Bible is all about. And yet, it might sound strange, as if Hillel was not aware of the 613 precepts mentioned in the Bible, of which one, love thy neighbor, mentioned in Parshat Kedoshim in Leviticus, mentions love thy neighbor as one of those precepts. And yet, from our understanding of Hillel, his conception of the Bible was, that's it. The Bible is one body of love thy neighbor. That was the essence of the Torah. And on Mount Sinai, it was the Jew who was to portray as a nation, share with the world the concept of love thy neighbor. And continues Rabbi Ashlag, in the age of Aquarius, the non-Jew as well as the Jew will have that same responsibility to impart that ability to consider the community over and above one's personal needs. This is the age of Aquarius. However, there is one basic difference between now and then. Today, high tech, the space frontier, computers have been doing a perfect job in reducing the individual to almost an insignificant entity, helpless in space warfare. And what say does the average man have in the ability in the program of development and destiny of his future. There is almost no worth to the value of man. Almost no place does he have in this universe. In fact, isn't that what high tech, or as I like to refer high tech as the golem high tech, responds to a problem by saying there's nothing that cannot be handled by golem high tech. Today, in the age of Aquarius, pushing man into that corner, making him feel insignificant, of no value, is going to coerce man into eventually asking, then what is my purpose? Or what am I here for? If, in fact, robotic consciousness has actually taken over. Following the destruction of the Second Temple and the birth of Christianity, both major religions have had very little impact with all of its prohibitions and precepts. Man has rarely, if any, paid any attention to these important prohibitions and precepts. It is only when man understands that it is to his self-interest, like those people in the Tower of Babel, it is only to his own self-interest, not for any moral or ethical reasons, will he come to the understanding of love thy neighbor. Only then will he become enlightened, because, in effect, moral and ethical teachings have brought little hope for mankind in ever achieving an eternal state of order and harmony.